Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, fa bismillah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. All praise and thanks are due to Allah, and peace and blessings be upon His Messenger. So proceeding to the video, we begin with Allah's name, subhanahu wa ta'ala, so peace be upon you, welcome and greetings. We're going straight to the second line, meaning letters 8 through 15, and we're going to cover the forms inshallah. So we're going to start right now with the letter Dal, and that's this one. So this is what it looks like in its original form. Here's what it looks like in its middle form, and as you can tell, it does not connect to the letter after. So no matter what letter I put, it's not going to be connecting the way the other letters do. So this one we're going to put as a star because it doesn't have a proper initial form. The middle form, sometimes letters change, the shape changes in its form. So this is what Dal looks like in its middle form, basically kind of rotated, as you could say. So here's what Dal looks like normally. There's what it looks like rotated in its middle form. And here's the middle form. Again, it makes sense that the letter won't connect after, because if it doesn't have a proper initial form, even if the letter is in the middle of a sentence, it won't connect, or in the middle of a word, it won't connect to the letter after it. And here's the ending form. You just take that line away at the end. Dal is pretty much the same. There's its original form, and here's its initial, so we're going to star that too because it doesn't have a proper initial form. The middle form, or the medial form, is going to look the same as the Dal, except with a dot at the top, and again it won't connect to the letter after. And there's what it looks like in its ending form. If you want, try to pause the video and just write the shape down by yourself and practice writing, inshallah. Next letter, Ra. There's what it looks like in its original. Here's what it looks like in its initial, so we're going to star that as well because it also doesn't have a proper initial form. Here's what Ra looks like in its medial form. And again, if it doesn't connect to the letter after in its initial form, it won't do it in its medial form. And here's final form. You just take away the line at the end. And I'm sure you can already guess the next letter, Za. Here's its shape. It's basically going to follow the same principle. So it doesn't have a line. It doesn't connect after. Or it doesn't have a proper initial form, so we star it. And then we have the medial form, and here's what it looks like in its medial form. So again, it can't connect properly in its initial, so it won't be able to connect to the letter after it in its medial. And here's what it looks like in its ending form. You just take away the line at the end. So next letter, Sin. This letter is in this original right now. If we put it in its initial form, this is what it's going to look like. We take away that bowl shape if you want to see it again. And we just get ready to write the next word. So for example, if I just put like a bunch of scenes together, this is what you would see. And tip to try to remember sin and tha, or for example, try to remember sin and the letter after it will have this little W shape. And I'll explain that in a moment, inshallah. Medial shape, it's basically the same. You just have something connecting before it. So the initial has a line coming up right around here. Medial, you won't have that. So you just go up. You go up from the middle, not from the right now. And the ending form is like that. So you just draw the shape after connecting it to the letter before. Now Sheen, which is now in its initial form, or original form right now, we're going to put it in its initial form. That's what it'll look like. So try not to confuse this and this. So basically the difference, if I were to put like two sas together, or thas together, and then I put the sheens together, then this is what I see. So notice that this tha, its shape is only one. It's only like a U shape right here, and then you connect to the letter after. Sheen is a W shape, and then you connect to the letter after. This might get confusing because both have 3 lines at the top, but try to notice the one bowl and the 2 bowls. So Sheen has 2 bowls, which is the W. Tha has 1 bowl, which is just a U. So try to remember that, inshallah. So Sheen, initial. Sheen, medial, or meaning middle form. Same thing as the scene, and that's the ending form. And I'm sure you already knew that because of the scene. So this is the ending form. Next one, we're gonna go straight into Sod. Here's Sod in its original form. Here's Sod in its initial form. So it's like that bow tie thing, except you just take away that little bowl, and then you have Sod in its middle form. So you just connect it to the letter before it, and you draw the little bow tie, you draw the hook, and you get ready to draw the next part. And then you have Sod in its ending form, you connect it to the letter before it, and then you just end the letter, draw the full shape like in its original form, and that's it. So this is the completion of letter 14 and the 3 shapes. Please try to write them down and memorize them as best as you can, because inshallah I believe that this really helps bi'idhnillah to learn to read the Quran in a very much faster pace. Some people might limit you by just keeping you at the qaida. We're going to try to go straight into the shape, and just this might be a lot of information, but you're going to have to try to pile it in, inshallah. So in the next part we'll continue with the next letters, inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.